No one asked to suffer from mental health disorders. No one asked to suffer from psychotic breaks. And for what the cops did by shooting them down, that's not the way to solve a problem.
First up tonight, tensions remain high in Hartford. This rally you see here was one of the latest protests against the police department. It's been just more than 1 week since a police officer shot 55-year-old Stephen Jones 9 times, which later resulted in the man's death. Thanks for joining with us for the news at 10 on Fox 61 Plus. I'm Stefan Reels. Last Friday, a family member of Jones called 911 from Blue Hills Avenue, telling them Jones was going through a mental health crisis and was also armed with a knife at the time. In the week that followed, calls have continued to come in for accountability and more mental health resources to help prevent something like this from happening again. A message that rang loud and clear at a vigil Saturday evening.
I have a problem with the 9 shots.
A short distance away from where Stephen Jones was shot.
We're not out here to bash nobody, but we're out here to ask that justice be served.
A small number of candles and balloons stood on Blue Hills Avenue alongside family members as Mothers United Against Violence held a vigil in the 55-year-old's memory.
There's nowhere in the world you can tell me the man had to be shot 9 times. What would you do if you see somebody shoot your little one 9 times? You won't want to talk about it either.
It's just not the police department, but it's the police chief. We want to meet with the police chief. He needs to meet with this community and tell us and reassure us that he's going to go by the book. 2 in 1 week, that's not a good record to live off of.
In the days that followed February 27th, Jones lost his life due to complications of gunshot wounds, according to a medical examiner's report, who also ruled the death as a homicide, a death mourners like neighborhood mental health nurse Odell Powell say could have potentially been avoided had resources been available instead of just officers.
We have all these things, but we don't have the funding that we need for the mental health treatment of our fellow men.
In a statement, the Hartford Police Union stood by the officers' use of deadly force, calling it necessary and reasonable, and in full compliance of the law and department policy, before they went on to criticize how Hartford City Hall handled what happened, and said leaders declared in action, not in words, that the police are not part of the community. This week, Hartford Mayor Arunan Arulampalam announced investigations into the incident, and the police department would take place.
In the days and weeks ahead, there will be 2 independent investigations, one by the state's Inspector General and one by our own City Inspector General that will be reviewed by a City Civilian Police Review Board. Our residents deserve transparency and accountability. And as mayor, I will use my voice and my position to ensure that you get that.